So, the point of all this is to create a forum where, I can give like free advice to you. I don't care what it is you're trying to accomplish. I don't care at all. If you are ambitious, one thing I've kind of learned the hard way is that there's not a lot of resources out there that are worth a damn and affordable. So it's like you're starting out, you need somebody to talk to. This YouTube channel is that place. All right, I will answer any question. If I don't know the answer, I will tag an expert to answer the question for you. Because, quite frankly, it's overdue. So, shout out to Frosthaven. Shout out to Mecca Bullock for helping kind of get this channel up and running and in order. This is our first broadcast, first time going live, and there are a lot of kinks that we are trying to work out, and that is cool. But this is a video blog, right? This is going to happen every Monday around 9 p.m. And, in between that, it'll be a place where we can discuss, entrepreneurship, business, your growth, your success. What it is you are trying to accomplish. All right. And I don't care where I happen to be at the moment. I will do my best, unless I'm just getting off of a conference call like tonight, to be on time, because being on time is very important. So please, if you are out there, subscribe, so that when we do these and when I post other videos in between these Monday live meetings with you and I want you to have access to that. I want you to know when that information comes up, and I want you to know that this page is always a place where we can talk about what you care about. The reason I identify ambitious people, and not just entrepreneurs, but ambitious people, as the people I want to talk to, because I realize, to Malcolm Gladwell's point in Outliers, that you're rare. There's a lot of people that they want the Mercedes, but there's not a lot of people that want to work for the Mercedes. They want it to magically appear like a prize out of their Cracker Jacks in front of their house, fully fueled, fully paid for, insured for the next 20 years, and guaranteed to never break down. Yes, I too am wondering what kind of crack they're smoking, but guess what? Laziness is the order of the day, and that's not my audience, because I don't really understand that audience. My audience are the men and the women and everybody in between. I don't care how old or young you are. I want to have real talk with you about your goals, what it is you're trying to accomplish, what it is you're trying to achieve. What I do, what I've done, well, let's give you that. I finished college in 98, got a job in 98 at a major bank. I was a pretty good producer. Got a really big head. So as that bank began a merger, I stepped out and started my own business. Ooh, I was like, yay, I'm an entrepreneur. Really sexy label, but it's not at all a label. You realize very quickly, all right, looks like we're ready here. You realize very quickly that that label doesn't serve you. Nothing serves you. You have to serve you. You have to be your, here we go. You have to be your accountant, your bookkeeper, and your paralegal. You have to be your secretary. You have to be your supply manager, office manager. You have to be your intern. You get your own coffee. You sleep. Typically, a startup entrepreneur sleeps about 4 to 5 hours a night. And it's not some, oh yeah, I'm gonna go without sleep, and like it's something to brag about, like a badge of honor. No, usually what you want to accomplish is burning so hard, so brightly. It's so heavy on you that you can't sleep. You typically find yourself passed out at a desk those first few months. Right? You typically find yourself popping up. Right? Like wheat bread out of a toaster, popping up in the morning. Like, oh yeah, I gotta get it. I got a million things to do. So the loss of sleep isn't even something you complain about until you start to slow down just a little bit, until that initial phase goes away and you are at that point where you are like, okay, year 2, I'm still not where I want to be. I still love what I'm doing, and I have no idea how I'm going to take this to the next level. That's when you really come into your own. And when I say you come into your own, there's this humility after a couple mistakes that you develop. And mistakes rock because they develop you so well. But there's this humility of, okay, this is what I'm good at. I am not a lawyer. I need a friend, colleague, associate, someone who is a lawyer to help me with anything and everything lawyer associated, because I am not going to do this to myself at all. This is very, very real, very important. You get to a point where you are hustling to, as we say, make payroll. It's not always easy. Let's see here. Are we ready to rock and roll yet? All right. It is not easy. But it is necessary. All right. And when you say make payroll, what am I talking about? Yes, today is going to be like this glaze over. When I say make payroll, what I mean is anybody working for you or with you. Yes. But first and foremost, your lawyer and your accountant. All right, these are the two people who, and they know this, which is why lawyers especially are typically so arrogant. They know that every client who has any sense at all knows that they need to pay them first. All right? It's a great profession. It's not likely to go away, even with this push towards robotics and apps that can write contracts and things of that nature. Law and legal representation and legal counsel is something that you always want to have a human relationship with someone. You want a human being helping you to navigate that and to, pretty much, make sure that you are operating as need be, that you are within the letter of the law, which is not even deep, but let me see here. All right. We are not ready to rock and roll. That's okay. So, I am very, very glad that I installed all the software required on my phone so that you and I can have these conversations with or without, me having my computer acting like it has some darn sense. Okay, got it. And there we are. And done. And okay, and chat box, and looks like we might be good. Okay. And done. Okay, so do you have any questions so far? Anybody out there, whether it's now or after now? Let's go over who I am. So I'm a little all over the place because I'm trying to get everything rocking and rolling here at the same time. Started in banking, moved from banking. In banking, I was strongest at working with people like my mom and my dad, who are both entrepreneurs. So I kind of went that direction, right? And okay, awesome. Yes, I am a multitasker, and yes, multitasking is a BS phrase for saying I'm paying attention to one thing and not very good attention to another thing at this moment. So I effectively have been working with businesses since finishing college, whether it was in banking or in procurement, helping them go after contracts, helping them to strategize the growth of their revenue, aka make more money. All right. Clients that I help, that doesn't matter. We're not really here for all that marketing stuff. I'm not trying to sell you anything. All right. I really want this to be a platform where I help you. And my experience being business ownership, having lost extreme amounts of money, and I can honestly say that is because the Creator, God, whatever you may call him, really had to get my attention. I think that a focus on him and a love for him is what was kind of always the underpinning of the success I've had in life. And I got to a point in my youth, although it was my 30s, in my youth, where I started to really think it was me, aka I became a bit of an arrogant prick. And that's not really in line with God, with universal law, with anything good. Right? It's not about me. It's about what me and my gifts and my talents can do to positively impact the greater whole. There is a Swahili term, Ubuntu, U-B-U-N-T-U, Ubuntu, which means that without you, there is no me. I've known it since undergrad. My degree is in African history, but I never understood it until I came out of the depression of losing a business, of losing goo gobs of money. I never really got it. So if I can take my experiences and make your life a little easier, let's do that. Let's definitely do that, because honestly, it sucks having to figure some of this out on your own. It really does. It's a very slow, it's a very painful process. And I'll tell you, Mecca and I were talking about this earlier. This generation, they could care less about how much you know or how corporate you are, how profitable you are, man. They are, in a way, socialists. They are, in a way, centrists, where what is going to benefit the greater good? These young people get that. My generation, we came up in this, go to college, get a job, which is total bull crap, right? Like, okay, I went to college, I got a job. Was I doing what I really enjoyed doing? No. I wound up on a good track anyway, and I'm thankful for that. My mom, when I was a kid, put me in every possible program to learn every possible thing I could learn, just on a random. You know what I mean? Like, shout out to Mom for that. I mean, like, from dialect courses at UPenn to, like, robotics classes. Like, I was a kid, but my mom wanted to make sure that I learned and had a thirst and an appreciation for learning, which is probably why I'm a closet nerd. I try to act like I'm not a nerd. You try to act cool and you smoke cigars with your boys and you ha ha ha. But, people say stuff and I'm always biting my tongue because the nerd in me always wants to say, oh no, well, that's such and such and such and such. And because the quadrant of the third, yo, shut up. All right. But please, subscribe. I want to learn from you. I want to hear from you of how I can help. I want to know, and we're going to build this and we're going to grow this from the comments, but I want to know what topics you want me to cover. All right. What topics I will be covering going forward is, do I start my own business? All right. Do I want to be an entrepreneur, or do I want to be what my mentor calls an intrapreneur? Someone who has a job and a part-time hustle that they're hoping that part-time hustle one day turns into enough money where they can make some real bank. That would be cool. I hope that happens for you. It's not guaranteed, and it's very tough. Effectively, you are making all of your daytime phone calls, if you're an intrapreneur, on your lunch break, right? You're doing all of your sweat from the time you get off until the time you crash and fall asleep. And you hope that you wake up on time to keep your 9 to 5, which is really what's paying all your bills. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the fact that only 10% of the people who say they want to be an entrepreneur have what it takes. So if 10 of you, all right, if 10 of your friends, you all call yourselves entrepreneurs, right? One of you actually has it. That hustle, that selflessness, that drive, right? Not for a material item, but this thirst to win. That's just unmatched. It's unparalleled. I mean, if you look at Michael Phelps is a great example, because when Michael Phelps is interviewed, Michael Phelps will tell you that his competition is his best time. He is swimming against himself. All right? My mentor always says, and it has sunk in over all these years. Thank you, Ron. Go check out the Herb Nook 4742 Spruce Street. Telephone 215-471-WELL. Great guy. Every herb in the world. If he doesn't have it, he can get it for you. And just sage advice. Sage advice. But who cares about sage advice when you are running a business? Be sure that that's where you get your apple cider vinegar from now on. Be sure that that's where you get your multivitamins. Go support the Herb Nook. But he said something to me once, and we talked about it at length. It's very powerful. I'm going to give you: the only enemy is the person in the mirror. You will have adversaries, you will have opponents, but the only enemy is the weakness in yourself. It's the laziness in yourself. It is the doubt in yourself. You have to beat you. You have to whoop your own behind every day as you set out on this journey to win. Otherwise, you're likely to lose. And losing to yourself, that's whack. But we all do it. There's some days you had a bad day, you wake up the next day having a bad day. Why did you drag that negative energy forward? Close that day out. Come to terms on what the reality was, what it should have been, and what you can do better. And all your energy goes into you doing it better. That's it. None of us are perfect. Right? God, man, I have made some mistakes that I really wish I could just meditate for a week, write them all down and give them to my son and my two daughters and be like, yo, look, these are all the mistakes your father made. I totally screwed up here, and I'm not going to say here for every time I possibly screwed up. You don't have that kind of time. But anyway, this is where I screwed up. Please learn these lessons. If you have questions, call me. Love, Dad. But I can't, although I should. I mean, I talk to them about my mistakes because I don't want them to make them. But God, if I could get all of them out of this cerebral cortex or somewhere in this big head of mine, just pull them out and put them in a little blue box with a white ribbon on it. My daughters will think it's a Tiffany's gift and open it quickly. All right? Man, honestly, I really just want to help you avoid some of these pitfalls I've made. So we're going to talk about entrepreneurship and intrapreneurship. We're going to talk about bookkeeping. You know what I mean? We're going to talk about some personal stuff too. There's a book that I'm going to suggest you read right now called Start With Why by Simon Sinek. Simon, what's up, man? He hit the nail on the head with the key concept of the book, which is do right now that which you can do right now that will move you one step closer towards your goal. And that is your job every day. But you'll notice the impact. When you internalize that, you'll notice a great impact of that being you don't have time for anything else. Distractions, I got a lot to do. I've got this one step I have to take, and it's really big, and I'm sweating, and I'm tired because I actually need to get a few things in line before the step I'm thinking about I can actually take. So, what am I doing? But you can do it. It's amazing what you can do if you believe it. And as you fight to establish, and I really want to talk through with you, establishing a true focus. All right, that's going to be the topic of conversation a few times because, man, it's so real and it's so hard to achieve, but it's so real. It's like, yo, how do you truly focus and truly be positive in a world full of such chaos. It's tough, but you can do it. I'm proof. And it's not easy, yo, but the alternative sucks. It's easy to see a negative occurrence and hone in on it because that's what we all do. We live in an imperialist society which says it's us versus them. So I want to be an entrepreneur, so I can't mess with 9-to-5ers. Yes, you can. You can probably learn a lot from them. You can learn from everybody. Bad days, bad moments, you're going to have them. Have them. Feel that. And recognize it, though. Know what it is. It's bad. It's a bad day. It's a bad moment. It's a bad occurrence. And as you get a grip on being able to recognize and manage things as they are and for what they are, you're going to develop your muscles, your mental muscles, the ability to what would have before just put you in a bad mood for nearly a week. As you become more mentally strong and more resilient and more focused, you'll be in a bad mood for a day. Maybe you're in a bad mood for a few hours. Maybe it pisses you off and you just write it down. Write down how you feel. Walk outside, light a match to it, and let it blow away and get back to your grind. What's Damon John say? Rise and grind? Yes. Rise and grind. Also, as one of the things we'll be talking about as we go forward, and my boy Rob Berriman will tell you this, and we'll probably laugh about it, but I used to have this saying, hustle hard. I'm rich, hustle hard, last or what? Such bull crap. You know what I mean? And yes, I am willing to hustle hard. I am willing to work hard for what I want, but I'm not willing to hustle. As I grow up and I mature, I realize that hustle is sometimes something people are running on the world in an attempt to escape their poverty or their hurt or their pain or their fear. Please don't. Please do your best. Don't hustle anybody. But to stop hustling others, you first have to get real with yourself. I hope it doesn't take you a whole bunch of money lost and gray hair to get there. But if it does, deal with that. That's your reality, your life, your journey. Yo, I'm about to jump off, but I do have notifications on, so if you want to talk, if you have questions, if you have feedback, if you have suggestions for topics you would like to hear covered here or on the Periscope channel, comment. All right, I will respond as promptly as humanly possible, and I'm here to help. All right, wishing you the best. The BizGrow Pro on all social media, or right here on YouTube. All right, thanks for stopping by, and be sure to subscribe if you enjoy, or you want to learn more, or you want to share more, or you want to help me build this community where we have some real talk. Because I think it's overdue. There's enough bullcrap floating around, man. It's time to flush that and get real so we can all grow. Yeah. Talk to you soon.